Welcome to today's presentation. I am your host, Councillor Mwita. Before I start, let me extend my sincere appreciation to my fans. They have done a tremendous job. They have subscribed, they have commented, they have shared, and our channel is doing well. I have nothing I can do except to say thank you. And after my appreciation, let me go to the main business. Today, on the calling from my fans, I have decided to do a comprehensive video on why she is still single, on why she has not found a spouse, on why men avoid her. So today, let's think about this lady in our locality. She could have been blessed with a very curvy body, but still you cannot see men around her. Why do men choose to avoid her? That will form the center of our presentation today. So let's unpack the points. 1. She could be a toxic feminist. A toxic feminist is a lady who hates men just because they are men. So, such ladies could end up even using some bad terms. Let me use one term that most of them use. I have ever heard some say that men are dogs. You can just feel how such a term is irritating. So, based on such an attitude, this lady could take the same character outside. The character could be public, and it could be a turn-off to men. It could be a turn-off to potential fiancés, and to some extent, they could just avoid her. 2. It could be that this lady is rude. Rude that she does not know how to communicate well with men. It is widely understood that men do have a given level of ego. But if a lady goes a mile to deflate that ego, especially in public, chances are that these men will not be friendly to her. They will always end up avoiding her. So, at the end, this lady could end lonely and single for a long time than expected. 3. This lady could be self-centered. This lady who thinks just about herself. She only thinks of what benefits her. But on the other end, she ignores completely the other gender. So, because of that, this lady could always bring forward some suggestions that are to benefit her, but remains insensitive with what the other gender, the male type, could benefit from her suggestions. And in the process, the male type could feel like maybe she's just there as a gold digger. She has no regard for him, and in the process, she could be viewed as a waste and avoided completely, and that could make her stay single for longer than expected. Another character, the 4th one, that could make this lady stay lonely is her character of giving more advices but listening less. You can imagine, you have a lady who can hardly listen to you. She only becomes mouth and louder while advancing her agenda. But what comes from you remains a nuisance. In the process, the man could feel that like he is disregarded in this relationship. He is of less importance in this relationship. And that could make a man to avoid such a lady completely. So, and also, another aspect is when a lady chooses not to be real. She fakes almost everything. She forces a smile, and on the long run, that one could be uncovered, and the man could view this lady as the most dangerous person in his circle, because you cannot know what she means, you cannot know what she's saying, so completely the man could be left confused because she does not know exactly who this lady is, and that also plays as a turn off to most men. Another thing, it could be this lady is too narrow-minded, a lady who just thinks of breakfast, supper and lunch, but on a wider scope into the future. This lady knows nothing. She has no plan for the future. She only thinks of going out for ice cream, for a drink, but completely she ends up adding no value to this man. She adds no value to what the man thinks about the future. She cannot bring up any idea on the form of business venture that they can take. So to the extreme, the man could see this as just a useless person, a person who is of no value to him. That could make a man to ignore her completely. Another aspect, which is closely related with the lady not being real, is the aspect of the lady not being honest. This is a lady that can promise you this, but in the end fails to fulfill it completely. She says this, she does this. So at the end, the man could be left in a very tough situation to distinguish between whether this lady is just playing hard or this lady is just trying and tempting to weigh his seriousness. And that one could to some extent keep off some men. Another aspect is this character by some ladies and some people in extension of staying on their phone for long hours. So maybe a man could have been attracted to a lady based on how she appears. But then, how does this man approach that lady now that this lady is always on her phone, on social media, chatting and doing other things? So this man could just guess that in case he makes a move to interrupt her, it may not go down well with the lady. So that one could also be a turn-off for the man. Another aspect are these ladies who try to hit the road running, trying to impose themselves on men. That one can never be a good trait based on how it is widely known on our societies, especially the modern society. They do believe that a lady who is in a rush to a relationship is always with the second thought, a hidden agenda. So it could be this character that is keeping off some men. When they see the pace at which this lady is getting into this relationship, they may think that maybe she has another agenda. She's only out for some selfish gains possibly. So that one could also be a turn-off. Another thing is being helplessness, which casts a perception that this lady is getting into this relationship to only get away, to satisfy her needs. It could be like that. She's there to get rent, to get food, and to get other personal amenities. So, because men by nature hate responsibility, they want an independent lady. That could be a turn-off for them. They could end up avoiding this lady completely. Another aspect which is obvious is the character of some women that they play hard to get. They somehow create a class for them. and somehow behave like they are not cheap. They try to make things hard for the men. When you make this advance, they counter by another advance just to make sure that you don't get them. That one, to some extent, becomes a turn-off. To some extent, it makes the man to avoid such ladies, because such ladies would have indicated that somehow they don't need these men, and these men just decided to give them space, and that one could make a lady to stay longer at the parents' place or are single for longer than expected. Another aspect is being too open-minded. It is widely believed that most men are always comfortable with a lady who they can advise, a lady who feels like they are superior to them, a lady who is submissive. But now, think of this lady who is too open-minded. When it comes to issues pertaining life, this lady is a star. So to some extent, men do fear such ladies. They end up just staying away from them just because of fear of intimidation, because of fear of the unknown, just because they feel like this lady may not accept my proposal, just because this lady may see me of no value, because she is already endowed with everything based on what such a man may think. Another aspect is these ladies who never reciprocate. This lady who always calls you for asking for some favors, but the same lady cannot stand by a man when a man is in trouble. A man cannot make a call requesting for something from this lady, but this lady is always on the run doing the same, requesting for financial favors. Help me this, I have a birthday, help me that. So to some extent, a man may feel that this lady is only there to satisfy her selfish needs, and in the process, this lady could to the end be avoided by most men. Another thing is a lady who is unwise on financial spendings. This will mark the end of my presentation, but it is not the least. Most men do have a vision to satisfy in the future, and these visions are always engraved on financial needs, financial independence, and also for this vision to be achieved, there must be an aspect of good financial management. So every man will need a lady who can budget well, a lady who can just give and sacrifice some aspect of the daily needs so that they can invest for the future. So, even as I wind this presentation, I would like you to note this, that as much as this is what may be a turn-off to one man could be a source of impression to another man. So this list should not be inclusive to any person, but it is a part of the widely proven sources of traits that may be a turn-off to men. So, even as I finish, this list of points can be used to correct this single lady in your community, in your locality, on how to turn out from that cloud of being single and adopt another list of traits in order there to be appealing to the boy child, in order to get a place in marriage. So as I end, allow me remind you to watch, leave a comment, subscribe, and share. Even as I end my presentation, allow me thank you guys for working with me. Thank you.